Jimmy goes on a date with the girl that he likes. He's been talking to her on Snapchat for 2 months, so he's super excited. He shows up wearing a nice outfit and she's in sweats and a t-shirt? Oh, but I thought she would have worn something nicer to this date. They get to the restaurant and Jimmy opens the door for her. He pulls out her chair and she never even says thank you. They start talking to her and she seems super disinterested and she starts talking about the other guys that she's seeing. Worst of all, a couple days after the date, she isn't even texting Jimmy back and he keeps begging for her attention, and eventually she ghosts him. Alexander goes on a date, and when he goes to pick her up, he can't believe how good she looks. They start talking at the dinner table and Alexander can't help but appreciate how sophisticated and kind she is. They go on to have a great relationship and eventually Alexander makes her his girlfriend. This video was inspired by the fact that I believe every single young man has been in the scenario where they're talking to a girl who's disrespecting them. There was this one time I was talking to this girl a few years ago, and kind of just like the story that we talked about earlier with Jimmy, she was just not showing me any respect. She lived about 45 minutes away, and I would always go to visit her, and when we'd hang out, she would be on her phone the whole time, not really showing much interest. She'd leave me on red for multiple days at a time. I also had a friend who was talking to this one girl who just showed him no respect at all. She would be leaving him on red, being super hot and cold, and then when they'd hang out, she'd talk about other guys that she's been seeing. And me and my friend who were in this situation where we were with a girl who didn't respect us, were in this situation because we didn't know what to do to get a girl to actually respect you. We didn't know how to be that guy. So here are 4 things you can do to be more like Alexander and start to become more of a man who women respect. Number 1 is to have boundaries. Know what you are looking for in a girl and don't settle for someone who's disrespecting you or who's anything less than what you want. For example, chances are you want to be with a girl who respects you. You want to be with a girl who is kind to you, who's not rude, who doesn't leave you on red for multiple days, who doesn't talk about other guys that she's seeing, who doesn't post certain things on Instagram. So a big part of that is to be a guy who has boundaries, who knows what he's looking for. And if you're talking to a girl and she starts to display characteristics that aren't up to your standard, you need to be willing to walk away. Because a lot of guys will be in this mode of dating where they're super desperate and they're willing to settle for a girl even if she isn't up to the standard of what they're looking for, because maybe she's the only girl that's showing them any attention. But in my opinion, it's so much better to literally be single, not even be with a girl, than to be with a girl who doesn't actually respect you, who doesn't actually value you. So if a girl is not showing you respect, or she's not the type of person that you'd want to be with, just be willing to walk away. Just say, hey, I don't think this is working out and I think we should go our separate ways. Because if you don't set standards for yourself, if you don't set boundaries, girls are going to walk all over you and you're not going to be able to do anything about it. And also part of that comes down to communicating your boundaries. When you're seeing a girl, if she ever does something that's disrespectful, don't be scared to call her out on it. And not in a rude way, but you can say something like, hey, I didn't appreciate how you showed up late to our date. Or I didn't appreciate how you go on your phone all the time. And like I said, you don't do it in a rude way where you're being disrespectful to them, but you just state your boundaries. You say what you expect, and if they don't want to live up to that, if they're not the type of person who can be the girl that you want to be, you just walk away. Because if you don't set the frame and you don't respect yourself, then no girl will respect you. Step 3 is to become the best version of yourself. The harsh truth is that if you want to attract a high quality woman, you first need to become a high quality man. And you also need to ask yourself, am I being respectful to her? Because if you're not being a respectful man to her, then why would she ever respect you? That doesn't make any sense. And so what does respecting yourself look like? Respecting yourself is doing things like focusing on becoming your best self. Instead of spending all day doing things like playing video games, sitting in your room, not doing anything, be the guy who's focused on going to the gym, who has a purpose, who has things in life that he's working towards, who has goals. Because women want a man who is ambitious, who's on the right path in life. And if that sounds like you, I don't say this to be disrespectful or to be rude. I say this because you need to take action. Sometimes you need to hear the harsh truth. So ask yourself, am I a man worth respecting? Am I the type of man who a high quality woman would want to be with? And if the honest answer is no, then what can I do to become closer to my best self? The next thing you must focus on is how you present yourself. I believe that one of the most important things in the modern dating world is using Instagram, social media, and dating apps to your advantage. But so many guys don't know how to present themselves on social media or on dating apps. Because think about this, for example, when you see a girl on a dating app or on her Instagram and she has a bunch of bikini pics or she has degenerate music on her profile, is that the type of girl that you're going to think is wife quality? Is that the type of girl that you're going to want to make your girlfriend? Honestly, no. Always think to yourself, if I showed her Instagram picture, if I showed her dating app profile to my mom, what would she think? And you can say that's disrespectful or that's rude to those type of people, but I believe that the way you present yourself says a lot about yourself. If you present yourself as someone who's promiscuous or who's, not girlfriend material, then you shouldn't expect people to see you that way. And of course, the same thing can be said for men. If you want a girl to respect you, don't have shirtless pictures all over your Tinder profile. And focus on presenting yourself in a way that would appeal to the type of person you want to attract. And also ask yourself that if her mom saw my Instagram or her mom saw my dating app profile, would she approve of me? Because a huge part of being respected by women is how you present yourself. Do you present yourself in a respectful way? So to recap everything we just went over, have boundaries, be willing to walk away when you aren't being respected, when a girl is mistreating you, and also have high standards for the girl that you date. And if a certain girl is not meeting those standards, be willing to walk away in a respectful way. And also be the best version of yourself and present yourself in a high quality way. If you found this video helped you, be sure to click the like and subscribe button and also turn on the post notifications so you can see more videos like this. I'll see you for the next video, bro.